Have you ever stopped to think if your soul has a mission in this world? As if something inside you knew that your existence goes beyond what the eyes can see, as if you had come with a purpose, but without a manual to understand all of this? If you have ever had this kind of feeling, there is a good chance you are connected to something much greater than you can imagine. Since ancient times, various prophecies, sacred texts, and even channeled messages have spoken about a very special group of souls. These souls, called the 144,000 chosen ones, are not chosen by chance, but for a clear and profound purpose. They accepted a mission even before being born. This group was sent to Earth to fulfill something that goes beyond common understanding. They are the first to awaken to a spiritual ascension that is not just an abstract concept, but something very real happening now with you and me. But how to know if you are part of this group? How to know if your awakening is truly a call for ascension or just a common change in perception? And why are only the 144,000 prepared for this transformation? The ascension we are experiencing is not something mystical, nor physical as many imagine. It is not an abduction where we suddenly disappear, but a deep and internal transformation. It's an expansion of consciousness. Perceptions of the world change. What once seemed simple and natural now no longer makes much sense. You start to feel that something inside you is different. The changes may be subtle, but they are intense and profound. If this message resonated within you, subscribe to the channel and become part of this community that is awakening to a new path. Give it a like to help more people receive this energy. And if you feel that this content has changed your perspective, the super thanks is a way to directly support our work. Your support is the key to continuing to bring more light and transformation. These changes may be happening to you, and you might be wondering, what is happening to me? Maybe you have felt a change in your energy, a disconnection from things that were once important, or even a need to distance yourself from certain people or environments. This is one of the signs that you may have already entered the first wave of ascension. But not everyone is ready for this awakening. Not everyone will feel or perceive this transformation. The first wave of ascension is being called now, and many are still not prepared for it. If you identified with these signs, you may be among those who will experience this profound transformation, but it is important to understand that this requires a level of preparation and openness. Today we will explore what it means to be part of this first wave of ascension and the signs that indicate if you are ready to align with this spiritual journey. Stay with me until the end, because this could transform the way you see your purpose and your mission in this world. The true transformation is happening within you. And one of the clearest signs that you are part of this ascension journey is the deep sensitivity that begins to take over your life. Have you noticed how you now pick up on people's energies almost instinctively? You no longer need to hear words, you simply know what is happening around you. It can be disconcerting. You can sense when someone is not being genuine or when the energy of a place is heavy. Crowded places like shopping malls or public transport seem to drain you. Artificial sounds and lights, once imperceptible, now seem to overwhelm your senses. And the dreams? They have become a much more intense experience. They are not just ordinary dreams, but messages that make you wake up with a feeling that something big is being revealed. You also start to notice patterns that constantly emerge, like numerical sequences, 1111, 2222, or 444, which appear at important moments as signs from the universe. This change happens because your energy is expanding. You are connecting with a higher level of consciousness, and this increases your perception of what is around you. But although this is a blessing, it can also become a burden. You feel more than you would like, and sometimes you can unintentionally absorb the negative energies of others. And this can often make you feel isolated or misunderstood. Another strong sign that you are on this journey is the feeling of detachment. The world around you seems to be in a constant cycle of repetition, while you feel that you are on a completely different path. Superficial conversations no longer make sense, and you begin to distance yourself from people and situations that were once common. This distancing is not a mistake, but a call for inner transformation. You feel the need to look within yourself, to connect with a deeper truth that goes beyond what the eyes can see. The changes in your energy field are distancing you from old influences, and this may mean the end of some relationships. But deep down, it is just the beginning of something more significant. You may begin to realize that your memories are not limited to this life. Dreams and intuitions bring fragments of past existences. You may even have a feeling of having lived before, as if you were already here in other forms, fulfilling another mission. This happens because the first wave of ascension activates these ancient memories of other lives and realities. This process is not for everyone, and if you are feeling these changes, know that you are on a unique path, a path of expansion and awakening. You have been chosen to experience this transformation, and what seems confusing now will soon become a deep understanding of your divine purpose. What did the 144,000 really come to do on Earth? The truth is that, while the world undergoes profound transformations, these special beings carry with them a unique mission, a mission that goes far beyond what is visible. They are not chosen by chance, but rather because their soul was prepared for this moment long before they were born. But what is the real purpose of this mission, and how does it manifest in the physical world? These individuals possess a powerful energy, a vibration that comes from higher spiritual planes. They carry a frequency capable of boosting the elevation of the planet. When they attune to the Earth's vibrational shift, they feel the immediate impact, both physically and spiritually. Their bodies and minds are being shaped to incorporate a new frequency of consciousness that helps to expand the energetic level of humanity. This is directly reflected in their energy field, which naturally begins to influence everything around them. Every day, these souls begin to realize that their presence does not go unnoticed. They touch the lives of others with something that goes beyond words, simply by being who they are. Maybe you have noticed something curious around you. Some people feel an inexplicable attraction to you, as if there is something in your energy that calls them. This happens because your vibration, even without you realizing it, activates a change in the people around you. If you have already experienced this, you can begin to understand that, even without intention, your energy is guiding others. It doesn't matter if you are a quiet or extroverted person. Your presence creates a space of transformation, even if you are not directly talking about spiritual awakening. Moreover, the feeling that some connections fade over time is also a reflection of this vibrational shift. As you begin to align your frequency with a higher reality, certain people and places start to seem disconnected from your new purpose. You distance yourself from environments that no longer resonate with your inner self, and this is not a loss, but an energetic cleansing. This process of distancing does not happen by chance. In fact, it is a sign that you are being guided towards something greater, a space more aligned with your true life purpose. Don't be afraid of the changes that arise, because they are what will help you discover who you really are. This process of growth requires you to let go of the old identity and the old patterns. It's not easy. Often, it will be necessary to leave behind habits and beliefs that have been established throughout your life. But by doing this, you are creating space for the manifestation of your true self, the one that has the power to transform not only your life but also the lives of others. Now, perhaps you are wondering, how can you know if you are one of the chosen ones? If you feel an internal urgency, a calling that goes beyond what can be understood by logic, it is a clear sign that your mission has already begun. It can be uncomfortable and often lonely, but it is a powerful sign that you are ready for the next phase of this journey. The sense of urgency you are experiencing is a clear sign that something profound is happening within you. Accelerated, as if time were passing more quickly, you feel that something grand is about to happen, but you don't know exactly what. This internal restlessness arises because the process of activating your spiritual DNA has already begun. Your soul is trying to guide you, but often it is difficult to fully understand the message. Another obvious sign is the change in your relationship with the world around you. You start to question everything, from the systems we live in to the beliefs imposed by society. What once seemed normal now bothers you. You begin to realize that, while many are still trapped in a cycle of routine, something much greater is happening. And although it makes you feel a certain loneliness, it also drives you to seek answers. These answers begin to come in unexpected ways. Your search for spiritual knowledge intensifies. You feel an attraction to topics such as ascension, quantum physics, meditation, and universal laws. There is a change in habits. You feel the urge to change your diet, distance yourself from addictions, take care of your body and energy. Your intuition strengthens, and you begin to notice that the universe is constantly communicating with you through signs, synchronicities, and revealing dreams. But perhaps the greatest sign that you are in the first wave of ascension is the transformation in your energy. Your presence begins to affect the people around you. Some feel inexplicably attracted, seeking your guidance or simply wanting to be near you. Others, on the other hand, may react with resistance or even hostility, because your energy is activating something in them that they are not ready to deal with. The 144,000 have this unique effect. Wherever they are, they awaken something in others, often without saying a single word. That is the crucial point of their mission. It's not just about seeking one's own ascension, but about being an active part in the collective awakening of humanity. The role of these beings is to pave the way for those who are still asleep. Some do this through their own presence, simply by being a living example of the new vibration that is being established. Others take on a more direct mission, sharing knowledge and helping others see beyond the illusion. But, like any great mission, it comes with challenges. The journey of the chosen ones is not easy. They face intense difficulties which are not just personal, but part of a larger process of transformation. The obstacles that arise along the way are not punishments, but tests that strengthen the essence of these beings, preparing them for their divine mission. One of the first challenges they face is the feeling of isolation. From an early age, the 144,000 know they do not belong to this world. Their minds function differently, their values do not align with social standards, and often, it is difficult to connect with the people around them. This isolation, although painful, is a necessary phase for them to align with their higher mission. Moreover, there is extreme sensitivity. The chosen ones feel everything more intensely: the emotions of people, the energies of places, and even the vibration of words. Often, they absorb energetic loads that are not theirs, which can cause physical fatigue, anxiety, and even symptoms that traditional medicine cannot explain. These signs of change are just the beginning. Ascension is a profound process, but for those who are ready, it brings with it the key to unlock a new level of consciousness and fulfill the greater purpose that each one carries within themselves. For the 144,000, understanding their mission is just the beginning. The true journey begins when one decides to act, when one chooses to follow the path, even with the challenges that arise along the way. The awakening is not a peaceful experience. It is a process of deconstruction where old patterns, beliefs, and fears need to be overcome so that the new self can manifest. You may have felt for a long time a constant emptiness, a sense that something is missing, and that nothing seems to fill this gap. Many of the 144,000 go through years of endless searches, getting involved in activities that, deep down, they know have no real purpose. This search for something more is a reflection of internal resistance. The fear of accepting the great responsibility of his mission and, therefore, the escape to paths that do not nourish his soul. But there comes a moment when there is no longer any way to escape. It's as if everything around you starts to crumble: relationships, careers, old habits. This is the way the universe uses to realign the chosen one to their true purpose. It's not a punishment but a necessary adjustment to make the path clearer. And then fear comes forth strongly. Fear of embracing your true essence, of exposing yourself to judgment, of facing the resistances that arise when you begin to live authentically. Fear of breaking with established patterns and the comfort zone that, until then, seems safe. But when called to this journey, there is no turning back. The time for illusion is running out. The 144,000 need to prepare for the great challenges that will come. Maintaining a high vibration is not a choice but a necessity. The world is still immersed in density with energies of fear, control, and illusion. For your mission to be fulfilled, it is essential to be a light in the midst of darkness. But how to keep that light burning when the surrounding environment seems to stifle your energy? The first step is to learn to protect your energy. The energy field of the chosen ones is unique, much more subtle and intense. It needs to be constantly protected and aligned so as not to get lost amidst the negativity that can spread around it. The energy of charged places, negative people, alarming news, all of this can drain your vitality. The practice of energy cleansing should become part of your daily routine. This can be done through herbal baths, meditation, prayer, connection with nature, or even moments of silence to rebalance oneself. Nutrition also plays a fundamental role. The more natural and light your diet, the easier it will be to maintain your vibrational frequency high. What you put inside also directly affects the quality of your energy. Another crucial point is the spiritual connection. The 144,000 are not alone on this journey. They have spiritual guides, mentors, and even beings from other dimensions sending signals, but to perceive them, one must be receptive. Intuition becomes a compass for the chosen ones. Learning to listen to this inner voice, which often comes in a subtle way, is one of the most important skills. These signs can come in various forms, through meditation, intuitive writing, observing synchronicities, or even dreams. But, even more importantly, each of the 144,000 has a unique mission within this greater mission. Some are healers, others communicators, others awakeners of consciousness. And the most powerful, your mission is already embedded in you. What makes your soul vibrate? What makes you passionate and seems to have always been natural? Sometimes, the mission lies in the things you already do intuitively, in the skills you have always possessed, in the passions that have never faded. If this message is already calling you, don't ignore it. Subscribe to connect with this energy of awakening and transformation. Don't forget to leave your like to show your support. In the comments, write, "I am ready to awaken and live my truth," and share with us your commitment to this process of evolution. The true journey of the 144,000 is not just about understanding the spiritual plan, but acting according to that understanding. Acting according to their purpose is what makes them fulfill their mission and generate powerful transformations around them. Now, many have not yet found themselves, but the collective awakening is approaching. The chosen ones are increasingly connecting with each other. Finding your tribe can be the crucial step to strengthen your journey. Those who share the same energy and vision begin to gather, and together they form a network of light, which will help illuminate the next steps of this great transformation. Now, the big question is, are you ready to embrace your calling? The first wave of ascension is already in motion, and the 144,000 have a crucial role to play. The vibration of the planet is changing, but for this change to happen fully, the chosen ones need to be prepared for what is to come. When the 144,000 finally awaken to their purpose, something transformative happens. The vibration of the earth changes. Not in a visible or dramatic way, but in the energy that circulates, in the collective consciousness, and in the details of everyday life. Those who were chosen begin to remember who they truly are. The abilities that were dormant begin to manifest, and the connection with their mission becomes clear. But the awakening does not occur immediately and simply. The first major rupture in the process is the separation from the old reality. What once seemed certain begins to crumble. Relationships, jobs, belief systems, everything that no longer resonated with your new frequency begins to dissipate. This process can be painful because the ego resists change. But for the chosen ones, this rupture is inevitable. The system to which many were bound can no longer maintain its influence over those who begin to see beyond the illusion. At that moment, the signs begin to intensify. Time seems to accelerate, synchronicities become more evident, and dreams begin to convey clear and revealing messages. Many of the 144,000 begin to notice spiritual gifts emerging more intensely. Clairvoyance, telepathy, energy healing, astral projection, among others. Others may perceive a deeper connection with nature or a greater sensitivity to the energies around them. However, as the awakening intensifies, so does the responsibility. The chosen ones are not just awakening for themselves. They have the mission of preparing the way for those who are still asleep. This means that many will be tested, especially when it comes to how others react to their transformations. Friends and family may not understand. Some people may even disbelieve, criticize, or ridicule the chosen ones because of the new energy they emanate. This happens because the light of the chosen ones bothers those who are still trapped in the illusion. Their energy serves as a mirror that forces others to confront their own shadows. But not everyone is prepared for that. That's why, as the journey intensifies, spiritual protection becomes essential. When the signs of ascension become stronger, the attacks also increase. Not only in the form of energetic attacks, but also emotional challenges, distractions, and even attempts to divert the chosen ones from their mission. The Matrix, as something that wishes to maintain the old order, does not want to lose those who can overthrow it. The chosen ones must, therefore, be firm and maintain constant alignment with their mission. Avoid low vibrations, do not fall into emotional traps, and above all, remember that the war being fought is not physical, but spiritual. But, despite all the challenges faced, the awakening of the 144,000 brings with it an invaluable reward. The remembrance of who they truly are. The connection with the source strengthens and fear disappears. The purpose that once seemed nebulous now becomes unquestionable. There is no longer any doubt about the reason why they are here. They know they are part of something greater and more magnificent. They are the pillars of the new earth, and the first wave of ascension has already begun. Nothing can stop the progress of this journey. As the chosen ones follow their path of ascension, the surroundings begin to change. The physical world may seem the same to those still trapped in the illusion, but for the awakened, everything is already transforming. Time behaves differently and thoughts begin to manifest more quickly. The connections between the 144,000 become stronger. A new code is being activated on Earth, and this will not only transform the lives of the chosen ones but also the reality as we know it. As the 144,000 align with their mission, a new system of existence begins to emerge. The old matrix is losing its power, and the new frequency of Earth is being established. This is the moment when the chosen ones begin to take their positions, each with a clear purpose within this planetary transition. Some are spiritual guides, illuminating the path for those who are still awakening. Others are healers, restoring physical and energetic harmony. Some act as messengers, transmitting the necessary wisdom for this global evolution. And there are also those who become protectors of planetary energy, maintaining balance against the forces that still try to control the process. Each chosen one feels a unique calling, which, when accepted, causes a surprising alignment in their life. What once seemed like an obstacle begins to flow effortlessly. The paths that were obscured become clear, and a profound sense of accomplishment begins to take over their journey. They realize they were never alone. There has always been an invisible force guiding their actions. There has always been preparation for this moment. But, like in any journey of transformation, new challenges arise. The contact with higher realities intensifies, which requires even more discernment. Not all energy that approaches is benevolent. Although the matrix is weakening, it still tries to maintain control over those who do not want to break free. Challenges and distractions will arise, trying to divert the chosen ones from their mission. False promises, attempts at manipulation, and even internal doubts will be thrown in the path. Therefore, maintaining the connection with the divine source becomes essential. Meditation, prayer, and spiritual protection become daily practices integrated into the everyday lives of the chosen ones. And then, something truly incredible begins to happen. The 144,000 begin to recognize each other, even without ever having met physically. It is a profound feeling of reunion with souls that seem familiar, a recognition that goes beyond time and space. This happens because, in fact, these beings already know each other from other existences, in other realities. They have always been a spiritual unit, and now they are reunited once again to fulfill the mission promised millennia ago. Their purpose is not just personal evolution, but the transformation of the entire Earth. They did not come here just to ascend spiritually, but to be the architects of a new world. A world based on divine laws, not on human laws that still govern current society, often centered on fear and scarcity. They are the pillars of the new Earth, those who, with their light and purpose, will dissipate the shadows of the old reality, paving the way for a higher frequency where love, peace, and truth will prevail. This is the great role of the chosen ones, not only to evolve but to guide the planet towards its true ascension. As the 144,000 align with their mission, a new system of existence begins to emerge. The old matrix is losing its power, and the new frequency of Earth is being established. This is the moment when the chosen ones begin to take their positions, each with a clear purpose within this planetary transition. Some are spiritual guides, illuminating the path for those who are still awakening. Others are healers, restoring physical and energetic harmony. Some act as messengers, transmitting the necessary wisdom for this global evolution. And there are also those who become protectors of planetary energy, maintaining balance against the forces that still try to control the process. Each chosen one feels a unique calling, which, when accepted, causes a surprising alignment in their life. What once seemed like an obstacle begins to flow effortlessly. The paths that were obscured become clear, and a deep sense of fulfillment begins to take over their journey. They realize that they were never alone. There has always been an invisible force guiding their actions. There has always been preparation for this moment. But, as in any journey of transformation, new challenges arise. The contact with higher realities intensifies, which requires even more discernment. Not all energy that approaches is benevolent. Although the matrix is weakening, it still tries to maintain control over those who do not want to break free. Challenges and distractions will arise, trying to divert the chosen ones from their mission. False promises, attempts at manipulation, and even internal doubts will be thrown in the way. Therefore, maintaining the connection with the divine source becomes essential. Meditation, prayer, and spiritual protection become daily practices integrated into the everyday lives of the chosen ones. And then, something truly incredible begins to happen. The 144,000 begin to recognize each other, even without ever having met physically. It is a profound feeling of reunion with souls that seem familiar, a recognition that goes beyond time and space. This happens because, in fact, these beings already know each other from other existences, in other realities. They have always been a spiritual unit, and now they are reunited once again to fulfill the mission promised millennia ago. Their purpose is not just personal evolution, but the transformation of the entire Earth. They did not come here just to ascend spiritually, but to be the architects of a new world. A world based on divine laws, not on human laws that still govern current society, often centered on fear and scarcity. They are the pillars of the new Earth, those who, with their light and purpose, will dissipate the shadows of the old reality, paving the way for a higher frequency where love, peace, and truth will prevail. This is the great role of the chosen ones, not only to evolve but to guide the planet towards its true ascension. If you have made it this far, I truly appreciate your dedication and presence. This shows that you are committed to your awakening, and I am honored to be able to share this journey with you. If you feel that this content has been valuable, consider supporting the channel with a super thanks. Your support is essential for us to continue bringing more videos like this. Now, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let's discuss the topics we talked about today. The exchange of ideas is essential for our collective growth. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything that's coming up. Until the next video, and stay strong on your path of evolution.